If I told you your heartbeat could sync with your dog's just by lying next to them, would you believe me? Because science says, it happens. Tonight, when your dog curls up beside you, it's not just about warmth or habit. That moment could be changing your body, your brain, even your future health in ways most people have never considered. Some of these changes are healing. Others, rare but very real, can be dangerous. In this video, you'll learn exactly what happens to your body when you sleep with your dog every night. The surprising benefits, the hidden risks, and what your dog's cuddling behavior is really saying about your bond. Let's start with something invisible but powerful: your heartbeat. Your dog doesn't just sleep next to you, they sync with you, literally. Studies show that within just a few minutes of lying in bed together, your heart rate and your dog's can actually start to match. Not just close, synced, like two dancers sharing a rhythm, without ever moving. Crazy, right? It gets better. You both start releasing oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds mothers to babies. That gentle sigh your dog lets out while settling in, that's their way of saying, I'm safe now, we're okay. And when your dog leans their body against you before falling asleep, they're not just getting comfy, they're tapping into ancient instincts. In the wild, wolves would sleep in warm, tangled piles for safety and survival. So, when your dog curls up against you now, they're saying, you're my pack, I trust you with my life. That's not a metaphor, that's biology, and it works both ways. Even if you're not aware of it, cuddling with your dog lowers your blood pressure, slows your breathing, calms your nervous system. Your body knows you're safe, even before your brain catches up. That's why so many dog owners swear they sleep better with their pup nearby, even if it means less legroom, because there's something deeper happening than just a snuggle. It's trust, it's love, it's thousands of years of evolution wrapped up in a single moment under the covers. But here's the twist. While your heart might be sinking, your sleep might be slipping. And what your dog does at 3 a.m.? You may not even notice, but your body definitely does. Let's talk about the hidden ways your dog might be messing with your rest, without either of you realizing it. Falling asleep next to your dog feels peaceful, doesn't it? You're wrapped in warmth, you hear that soft breathing, maybe even a tail thump or two under the covers, and everything feels right. But here's the twist. While you're dreaming away, your dog might be quietly stealing little pieces of your sleep. Not on purpose, of course. They're not out to sabotage your rest. But even small movements, a paw twitch, a deep exhale, a sleepy stretch, can ripple across the bed just enough to pull you out of deep sleep without fully waking you. And that's the problem. In one sleep study, researchers fitted pet owners with activity monitors and discovered something odd. People who slept with their dogs were disturbed dozens of times per night, but didn't realize it. On paper, their sleep was fragmented, but when asked, they said they slept fine. That's how sneaky it is. Because sleep isn't just about clocking hours. It's about hitting the deeper stages, especially REM, where your brain processes emotions, stores memories, and resets stress levels. But if your dog rolls over or dreams mid-cycle, your body might jolt out of REM just enough to miss that mental reset. You might not remember it, but you feel it the next day, groggy, foggy, maybe even a little off. Still, let's be honest, it's hard to say no when your dog wants to climb into bed. Those soft eyes, that little sigh as they settle in. And for many people, even light sleepers, the trade-off feels worth it. Because what they're getting in return is more than warmth. It's comfort, it's companionship, it's emotional safety. But that comfort comes with a catch. Your dog isn't just bringing love into your bed, they're bringing their whole world with them, on their fur, their paws, and even their breath. And, depending on your immune system, that nighttime cuddle might be doing your body a favor, or starting a silent battle while you sleep. Dogs don't come to bed alone. They bring a whole microscopic world with them. From the moment they jump onto your sheets, they introduce bacteria, fungi, dander, even tiny traces of soil or pollen from the backyard. But get this, that might actually be a good thing. Research shows that early exposure to a dog's microbiome, especially for babies and kids, can reduce the risk of allergies later in life. It's like a natural immunity training camp. Your body learns not to overreact to harmless things just by sharing space with your pup. But, and it's a big but, that same mix of microbes can turn into a nightmare for sensitive immune systems. If you've got asthma, eczema, or adult-onset allergies, sleeping nose-to-nose with your furry best friend might be making things worse, not better. Dog saliva, skin flakes, and even what they track in from the park can trigger flare-ups. And no, being hypoallergenic doesn't mean your dog is totally safe. It just means fewer proteins, not none. It's a classic dog-parent dilemma. Cuddle close and risk the sniffles, or set boundaries and miss that warm, snoring foot warmer. Of course, the sniffles are one thing. But what if what your dog brings to bed isn't just harmless bacteria, but something that bites back? It started with a kiss. Just a welcome home lick on the hand. Marie Traynor didn't think twice, until days later she woke up in the ICU, missing all 4 limbs. Doctors traced the infection back to her dog's mouth. The bacteria was Capnocytophaga canamorsis, a name that sounds rare because it is. But it lives in the saliva of most dogs. For healthy people it's harmless. For someone with a paper-thin cut and a weak immune moment, it can turn deadly. Now don't panic, these infections are extremely rare. You're more likely to win the lottery than lose a limb from your dog's lick, but the risk exists. Especially if your dog sleeps close to your face, shares your pillow, or has a habit of licking your skin. Add in parasites, flea dirt, roundworms. Suddenly, your cozy bed starts sounding like a biohazard scene. It's not about fear, it's about awareness. Things like regular deworming, fresh bedding, and clean paws before bed go a long way. Because for all the rare horror stories, most dogs don't harm us in our sleep. They heal us, some literally. Not all therapy happens in a chair. Sometimes it's 4 paws curled up next to you. There's a reason PTSD service dogs are trained to sleep beside their humans. Their body weight alone can calm a panic attack before it starts. That deep, steady breathing? It's contagious. Your nervous system mirrors it. You start to breathe slower. Your mind stops racing. Your body lets go. In a study of combat veterans, those with trained sleep companions, dogs who stayed beside them through the night, reported fewer nightmares, faster sleep onset, and less emotional turbulence overall. But you don't need to be a veteran to feel the effect. Even pet parents dealing with work stress, grief, or plain old anxiety say the same thing. Something about having a dog nearby just makes the night easier to face. And unlike weighted blankets, dogs adjust. They shift when you shift. They sigh when you sigh. They're not just comfort, they're company. And while that may sound sweet, it turns out there's a physical benefit to that connection too. Because when your dog is beside you every night, your heart starts learning something. Turns out your dog isn't just warming your feet, they're tuning your heart. In a recent study, people who slept with their dogs every night showed improvements in something called heart rate variability, HRV for short. It's a fancy way of saying their bodies were better at shifting between fight or flight and rest and recover. High HRV is a sign of resilience, of calm, of health, and cuddling with a dog consistently raised those numbers. Even blood pressure saw a drop. That's not just "aw, how nice." That's the kind of shift doctors usually hope to see from medication or yoga. Some experts believe it's the combined effect of steady warmth, emotional bonding, and relaxed breathing that makes the change. But of course, not all dogs are still sleepers. A snoring Great Dane, that might undo every benefit in a single grumbling exhale. Still, for most, the net effect is powerful. Their heartbeat becomes your lullaby. Their calm becomes your calm. And what's fascinating is how their rhythm doesn't just change your body. It changes your schedule. Your dog doesn't know what daylight saving time is, but they'll still get you back on track faster than an alarm app. One large sleep study found that people who slept with their pets went to bed and woke up at more consistent times, even adjusting more smoothly to time changes. Why? Dogs love routines, and when they sleep with you, their rhythm pulls yours along with it. They'll still wake up at 6:30, tail wagging, even if the clock says 7:30. They'll nudge you when it's supposed to be breakfast even if you want to sleep in. It's annoying, but it works. This built-in routine helps regulate your sleep cycles, keeps your melatonin production steady, and improves long-term rest quality. And honestly, it's comforting. Knowing someone's always ready for bed when you are, and ready to greet the day before you're even halfway conscious, makes your mornings feel a little less chaotic. But sometimes, that same consistency isn't just about habits. Sometimes it's about survival. There are dogs that wake their owners up in the middle of the night, not to play, not to go outside, but because something's wrong, really wrong. Diabetic alert dogs have been known to detect blood sugar crashes before medical devices catch it. Seizure response dogs can sense shifts in body chemistry and act before their owners ever feel a thing. Some paw, some whine, some place their body protectively across their person like a weighted shield. And here's the key. Most of that only works if they're with you, in bed, close enough to monitor your breathing, your movement, your temperature. Even untrained dogs have shown incredible instincts, waking owners during fires, seizures, even silent heart attacks. You don't always know what's happening while you sleep, but your dog might. They don't just stay beside you because it's warm. Sometimes they stay because they know they're the only thing standing between you and the dark. So, should you let your dog sleep in your bed? That's up to you. For some, it's the best part of the day. Heartbeats sinking, stress melting, that quiet sense of "I'm not alone." For others, it's allergies, midnight tail slaps, and sleep cycles turned upside down. But one thing's for sure, sharing a bed with your dog changes more than just your bedtime routine. And if you think where your dog sleeps doesn't matter, wait till you see how they sleep. Click next to find out what your dog's favorite sleep position really says about your bond. It's more revealing than you think. And hey, if you learned something today, give that subscribe button a little love. We've got more science, more stories, and way more dogs coming your way.